What's up YouTube, it's Louis here, I hope you're all well. Today we're looking at Elrond again. Thank you guys for tuning in. It has been a while, but we set out some guidelines in the last video, which is now that we've lost this high low of $45 back over here, we do believe that the destiny is eventually to go ahead and lose this low. But when we do come down to this low, we'll get some sort of short-term reaction. So let's say you were in a short at the moment ever since this candle, or it doesn't matter if ever since losing the 1 fib level, or even simply here. Like, this will act as a support in the short term. So expect when you come down here, you will have a bounce in the short term. So that could be a point to take some small profits from the trade, or to get out completely, to wait for a closure, because when you come down into this, it's going to bounce into this zone again. And when you come into it, you're going to get rejected. If you see any bearish candlesticks here, that's going to be a signal. Okay, now we're continuing lower. The 186 will also bring a bounce because it is the 186. So yeah, essentially could be doing something like this. Yeah, but yeah, when you hit the 1618, it's going to accumulate for a while. It could actually send us quite a bit higher. But again, even if we do have an amazing pump after meeting the 1618 at 35, I'm just expecting key resistance up ahead, because you haven't really pulled away since losing it. What I'm trying to get at is, let me get rid of the drawings. What I'm trying to get at is, since closing under, you instantly pump back above. We knew this was fake. I was able to tell you guys that it's just not good enough. We need to get above $50, and $50 was just a bit higher around here. Yeah, around the top of the red box over there. And yeah, since losing the higher low, I just know, okay, you've made a lower low. You've now lost this potential bullish structure. So we had our bottom and you had a higher low. Going forward, holding this, as long as you're holding this, you're keeping bullish structures, higher lows. If you go in your the definitions of uptrend, if you're seeing higher lows, that is the structure of an uptrend. So keep that, you've got an uptrend. Lose that, no longer an uptrend. So this was our higher low. We lost it, not here. That was fine. That's why we actually broke out of this bearish pattern. But we unfortunately revalidated it, or validated it. Yeah, or just validated it. We had this shoulders. Well, we had two patterns here: inverse head and shoulders. And this was bullish, and we actually broke out of that, which was amazing signs. And the bearish pattern was the descending triangle, as well as the shoulder, head, and shoulders, which we're seeing across all the cryptos, especially Bitcoin. And remember, I ask you guys always to tune into the Bitcoin updates. It's the most important one. And we have a cheat sheet on the Bitcoin update, which is essentially a fractal that Bitcoin is repeating, something that is done twice in the past, in the March crash, as well as back in 2021. It's essentially, yeah, even Elrond is doing the same thing. It's essentially mirroring this all again, just down here. You had your shoulder, head and shoulders over here, and a double bottom, and then eventual capitulation. You waited a bit, and then capitulation. You're essentially in this area. Actually no, we're not there just yet. We're somewhere here. We're going to zoom in, but yeah, with Bitcoin there's a bit of a clearer picture. That's what matters most. It's the number one coin. If your alt doesn't look as clear, just know, if you do your Bitcoin analysis and Bitcoin is clear, then you pretty much know what's happening with your alt, especially if you're not too certain with your alt chart, like what's going on. Yeah, there can be a lot of fake moves as well, because it's more volatile. Bitcoin is more stable, of course. For comparing Bitcoin to stocks and Forex, it is way more volatile, but comparing Bitcoin to other alts, my goodness, it's way more stable. You're not going to get such crazy moves. You still do, of course, it's crypto, but yeah, compared to alts. Anyways, we had this higher, this higher low. Going forward, hold this. We're going to actually break out this bullish pattern, because this is the neckline of the bearish pattern. If you don't lose this, you're just keeping higher lows. That's not bearish. Lower lows is bearish. So the moment we're closing below that, it's bearish. So coming down here, we held it, we broke out, we flipped this into a bullish cross, validating the inverse head and shoulders target up to $100. But by losing this wick, which I said, do not lose this wick, or we're coming down and losing 45. And that's unfortunately what we got, guys. So of course, even reclaiming the higher low is not enough. Where the capitulation begun, that's where we need to reclaim. So unfortunately, it's right up there. So for me personally, if I'm not seeing Elrond above, not just there, I need to see Elrond holding consecutive days, holding it as support above $65, $65 to $70, which is, yeah, between here and this range over here. And if it's not doing so, I believe that any pump into that area is just going to be a lower high, apologies, and then a continuation low. But yeah, because you need to break this high now. The capitulation began here, so you need to break this, and that would at least signal you're coming up to here. But again, it's still resistance, so you have to expect a rejection. So that's why when we do get rejected, or if we get up there and it gets rejected and it doesn't manage to hold a high low here, and you come back up and hold it as support, that's only when I'm going to flip bullish. Not when we get there. When we pull away, get back above, hold it as support, that's when I'll flip bullish. Until then, I just believe that if we do pump, it's not going to be this move that we actually want. I think that it's just going to be a lower high. So you see how you have this wick over here where you once found support? Just realize that when you come back into that again, you'll get rejected. So if we come into that wick, it's going to be a key resistance. I would love to put a short on Elrond over there once we do eventually get back up to that. But we might not get up there at first. We might go down first. Just in the future, when we're coming back to the price of around $50, it's also a psychological level. It's also the lowest wick over here once we flip bullish. So that's why I know when we do actually come back up into this, again, we might go down first like this, reclaim it, and then come back up. I'm not saying it's going to copy this, but if you eventually come back up, I'm expecting a dump from there. And whether that we go down and then up, or just up from here, I'm just expecting any pump to be a bull trap, guys. I hope that was very clear in today's update. Remember, by losing $45 when we came down, losing the wick at 50, losing 45, that has validated the pattern, which did not happen because we validated the bullish one. So remember, it was an inverse head and shoulders, but also a descending triangle. Bullish target at 100, bearish target at $20. We've actually spoke about $20 multiple times months ago, but without closing above 45, we can't be saying that on the channel. It's not right. If you're above 45, you've got high lows, so nothing's bearish. If you don't have high lows, it's not bullish, so I have to be bearish now. And so yeah, ever since closing below 45, we have to assume that we're coming back down to test these lows at around $37 and trying to take it out with targets lower, the head and shoulders target being $20 or $30, as well as $20 for the descending triangle, which we validated once we lost that higher low. Again, it did not validate here. We broke out and we validated the bullish one, which is amazing. We were doing all the right things apart from not getting out of this gold box. Well, we did, and then unfortunately on the same day, that was the capitulation with FTX. So it's interesting because Elrond and VeChain weren't moving much from the bottom like Bitcoin, but when it actually started to move, Elrond and VeChain formed the bullish cross on the daily time frame, held the bullish cross. It unfortunately got wiped out by the FTX scandal. So yeah, of course, external factor, nothing we can do about it, but that's why we need to reevaluate and need to understand that that's going to damage the market for a while. We're not going to just recover in a couple months time. You know, the second largest exchange out here was a scam, guys. Need to realize that. So going forward, I'm not just expecting some lovey-dovey recovery. I do just expect pain. And there's a lot of influencers out there just being extra bullish right now because yeah, they think that's the end of it. But yeah, I don't see light at the end of the tunnel. You've made a lower low, so how is that bullish? I don't know how people can say now the bottom is in. So yeah, obviously I'll take it step by step. If we could invalidate all this downward nonsense, amazing, but we haven't, and so that's why I'm going to keep saying we've just lost this higher low. We're just keep on running into it as resistance. We're expecting lower prices. We haven't invalidated the bearish targets, so we're expecting those targets 30 and 20. But in the short term over here, about 37, 38, once we do eventually come back down there, I do think that there's a short-term bounce from there. So that's a potential bullish trade that we can take. Otherwise, I'm expecting continuation down. And even if we do pump, it's going to be a bull trap. Please like, subscribe and comment, share the video if you can. Check out those memberships, send in the super thanks if you will. Check out my Twitter, Louis_crypto. I've also got crazy deals. The last day of the Black Friday discounts, extended it for one more day. You can get my mentorship for either 300 or 500. This includes the course, the chat and the mentorship lessons, or you can just get the course for £100. This will end today. So even if you do message me tomorrow morning, unfortunately guys, sorry, I won't extend it because I had that happen today. So yeah, if you want to do it today. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And as always, peace.